Hi guys, welcome back to Sacred Vedic Astrology. My name is Samantha and I'm a professional Vedic sidereal astrologer. So we have a really important transit coming up October 9th, and we are going to have Jupiter go retrograde in Taurus. Let's talk about what the general energy is going to be, and then I'm going to pull up the chart for the day of the Jupiter retrograde so you guys can follow along and we can go deeper into some more specific aspects of this transit. Something we want to understand about when a planet goes retrograde in Vedic astrology, best believe that that planet becomes strong and becomes a theme that we are feeling collectively. So this is going to be a time period in which we are reviewing, revising, and revisiting past things in connection to justice, our legal system, the justice system collectively, right? There's going to be some sense of looking at past issues in the legal system, and we might see a lot of stuff start to unravel around the justice system and things that have been unfair, unjust, and not righteous in some way. When a planet goes retrograde, we are looking to the past in some sense to rework that energy. So the best way to use Jupiter retrograde energy is to sort of review, revise, and reflect and go inward on Jupiterian energy. Jupiter in Vedic astrology is the karaka, or the indicator of wisdom, guru, guide, father, teaching, spirituality, spiritual travels, things of that nature. So when that planet goes retrograde, a great time to really go into your own philosophical spiritual beliefs and perhaps review or revise them in some way. It's a great time to reflect on growth. It's a great time to reflect on things that you want to change or transform in your life as well too, in some regard. So it is going to be a feeling of, wanting to really go inward into ourselves. Perhaps we're more connected to things like astrology, meditation, spiritual travels. Maybe we're revisiting or reviewing some past travel. Maybe we're reviewing or revisiting some past spiritual course. It's a great time to learn and acquire new knowledge as well too. It's also a great time to revisit any sort of past teachings or education that we may not have completed in some manner as well too. Jupiter is really connected to education and learning and wisdom in Vedic astrology. So when that planet goes retrograde, if there's any sort of course, any sort of class, any sort of teaching that maybe we did not complete or finish, this is a great time to go back to that and restart that or finish that in some way as well too. It's a great time to sort of pay homage or pay respects to guru, guide, teacher, father, things of that nature. A great time to donate, give back to charity, give back to education, donate to education, donate to charities, things of that nature, especially if Jupiter happens to be going retrograde in your 12th house. All right, so wherever that energy lies in the chart will give us more specific energy about how to work with the Jupiter retrograde, but these are general themes and general energies for the collective. All right, so I personally am gonna donate clothes and do some sort of donation during this Jupiter retrograde because it is going retrograde in my 12th house of charity and donation. So you always want to work with energy in Vedic astrology and life, of course, as well too, right? But knowing about Jyotisha or Vedic astrology is shining and shedding light on aspects of things that we don't fully see or understand. So when we know about the Jupiter retrograde energy, we can work with it. How beautiful is that? We can understand Jupiter's retrograde. Let's, give back. Let's be charitable. Let's work with the energy, not work against it. That is the beauty of Jyotisha. All right. So let us pull up the Jupiter retrograde chart so you guys can follow along and we can get into more specific aspects. But I do want you guys to really understand that this is a beautiful time to go inward, be reflective, go into our own sense of spirituality and our philosophical ideas and ideologies and beliefs, and a great time to learn new things as well too. And if there's any sort of revisiting or reviewing or revising of Jupiter or Venus themes, this is a great time to do all of that as well too. We're going to get more into it, and I'm going to pull up the Jupiter retrograde chart so you guys can follow along and have a visual representation. All right, so now we have the Vedic sidereal astrology chart pulled up for October 9th when Jupiter goes retrograde. All right, so what we really want to focus on in this chart is Jupiter sitting in Taurus, and we see that RX next to it, which does mean that that planet is going retrograde in its motion. All right, so let's look to the nakshatra that Jupiter happens to go retrograde in, because that's going to give us a lot more insight and information about this planetary energy as well too. All right, so we have Jupiter going to retrograde in Taurus, and we see it in the Mrigashira nakshatra. Mrigashira is a nakshatra that connects to looking for something or trying to find something. So this nakshatra in Vedic astrology really connects to seeking something and wanting to collect something as well too. Can be a sort of stubborn nakshatra, and it can be very set in its ways as well too. So something to understand about this planetary energy is it's going to start retrograde in Mrigashira and it's going to end in Rohini by the end of its retrograde motion, February 4th. So we start in Mrigashira and then we end in Rohini. So it's starting in Mrigashira means that there is going to be a sense of us looking or trying to find some sort of information or collecting some information from the past. So we can intuit collectively that in the political system, the legal system, the justice system, people are going to be trying to find, guaranteed guys, guaranteed, people are going to be trying to find some past information on a lot of political leaders, on a lot of things within the justice system that is going to kind of come back and rear its head. All right, because a retrograde planet shows us something that is being reviewed and revised, right? And it just happens to be in this nakshatra that connects to trying to find something, trying to seek something, trying to look for something. All right, so we're going to be finding a lot of people doing a lot of investigative work, trying to collect information on Jupiter themes of the past. So it can be connected to justice, righteousness, politics, the legal system. In our personal life, it could be connected to past courses, classes, past travels, Venus themes as well too, which we'll get into in a second. All right. So we're going to see a lot of this trying to collect and find information and things from the past because of that nakshatra that it goes retrograde in. All right, so we see Jupiter in Taurus, right? What does Taurus indicate in astrology? Taurus connects to things like the sensual pleasures, especially when it's going to end in the Rohini nakshatra. So Taurus connects to things like food, things that we ingest. Taurus connects to the economy, it connects to finances. So we're going to find that a lot of people are reevaluating and reviewing and rethinking the foods that they eat and the things that they ingest at this time as well too. We're also going to find that a lot of people are questioning or revisiting, reviewing, rethinking financial matters as well too. So it's a really great time, especially if this happens to be lighting up your chart with like the second house or the eighth house or houses of finances as well too, to really review and revise financial matters. A great time to try to save money, make more money, do things in connection to our financial security as well too. And the reason being is because we have this going retrograde in Taurus, which already connects with the financial, the material, but also it gets disposited by Venus, okay? Because Jupiter is going retrograde in Taurus, Taurus is disposited by Venus, and we have a strong, well-placed Venus on the day that it does go retrograde. So let's hop over to Venus in the chart, right? We see that Venus symbol down here in Libra at 26 degrees. All right, so we're going to have Jupiter retrograde disposited by Venus in Libra. So we see this very Venusian energy coming through in the retrograde planetary energy as well too. So when we see something get disposited by another planet and that planet is in its own sign or exalted, best believe that that Venus energy is strong, strong, strong. Okay? So because that Venus is in, good quality, good placement, we are going to be having some good energy around our financial matters. So there's a sense of we can actually, save money, put more into our finances right now, really reflect and revise financial things. If there's anything from the past that was connected to the justice or legal system that actually would connect with finances or money in some way, this is a great time to get some sort of karmic retribution around those financial issues. So it's a great time for like past court cases. If someone was owed money, this is a great time to try to get that money back. Things like that are really great because of this Jupiter retrograde disposited by Venus in Libra. The Venus is going to move, obviously, as we go through this until, the next couple months. So we are going to see that Venus come out of Libra, go into Scorpio, and move each month, of course. But the day that it goes retrograde, it's going to be that really strong Venus placement. So we can also find ourselves reflecting on reviewing, revising, or reconnecting with people from the past as well, too, and having some sort of positive energy there because Venus is in a well-placed sign. Okay? So Jupiter retrograde disposited by Libra, we might be, reconnecting with family members, past romantic interests, past friends, specifically women as well, because that's that Venus energy. And we can be finding that we can have some sort of resolution or understanding or agreement that we can come to with that Jupiter retrograde disposited by Venus in Libra. Okay. Libra in itself is a sign that is very connected to justice and connected to righteousness as well, too. So not only do we have Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, we see it disposited by Venus in Libra, a sign that is very connected to justice and higher morals as well, too. So again, we're going to see these collective themes of righteousness and justice, and things that didn't feel fair or right or just can come back around to be looked at from a new lens or a new perspective. We also see Jupiter trining. So Jupiter in Vedic astrology casts special aspects. So the special aspect of Jupiter is things that are 5 and 9 houses over. So let's start with Taurus. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We come to Virgo. And we see that Jupiter is aspecting Sun, Mercury, Ketu, all in Virgo. So Jupiter is bringing its energy to those planets and that house in your chart as well, too. What I find very interesting is the Jupiter-Ketu aspect, because Ketu is spirituality, past lives, our gifts, our spiritual innate wisdom as well, too. So this is kind of a strong intuition I have about this aspect. I do think a lot of people, Mercury as well, rules education. So we see Jupiter expanding with Ketu, with the Sun, with Mercury. Mercury is in its own sign of Virgo. So we have a well-placed Mercury, and we also have a well-placed Venus. Venus and Mercury both do connect to counseling and guidance and teaching, all right? And so does Jupiter, right? That Jupiter retrograde aspecting a well-placed Mercury disposited by a well-placed Venus. This is a really amazing time for learning and education and counseling and guidance. These are going to be amazing themes over this Jupiter retrograde period because of the nature of those well-placed energies that it's aspecting and getting disposited by as well, too. You might find that a lot of people are going back to school. It's a great time to review and revise past themes of education as well, too. So let's say that you took a course and you didn't finish it, or you never felt like you put your all into it. This is a great time to revisit those courses and start again, or put more energy into it, more internal reflective energy. Okay. Mercury well placed in Virgo as well, too, and then Jupiter aspecting that. And then Ketu sits there, the Sun. Also a lot of government themes with that Sun, Jupiter aspecting the Sun. Best believe people are going to be questioning and evaluating past things around political leaders, things coming out, Mrigashira, people are investigating a lot. Guaranteed a lot of past investigations on political leaders and the political climate, and things coming out from the past that may not be so positive, right? Around politics and political leaders at this time as well, too. The Jupiter K2 aspect can also bring us some past life gifts or past life realizations or past life connections. And maybe we're having this innate understanding of things that we have to change or transform or work on or work through in our own life as well too. Jupiter aspecting K2 is kind of this innate spiritual wisdom. So there's a sense of us having a lot of revelations, a lot of spiritual insights, a lot of transformational energy is going on with this Jupiter retrograde as well too. K2 Jupiter aspects to me always show like teaching and guru and wisdom and all that stuff. So again, people are going to be really interested in learning things, especially if those are more spiritual topics or learning new things within like spirituality or philosophy or just education in any regard. Jupiter K2 I also find to be, again, a very charitable aspect. So when I see Jupiter aspecting or in conjunction with K2, people are very charitable, they're very giving, and there can be a sense of kind of letting go of things that do not serve us on the material as well too. So that Jupiter K2 energy can bring a sense of like wanting to let go of material things in our homes or in our life in some way as well too. So perhaps donating clothes, cleaning out, the apartment, the house, getting rid of things. That's that Jupiter K2 energy. A really great time for like cleaning, getting rid of things, donating things. When we know Vedic astrology and we know Jyotisha, we can work with Jyotisha, we can work with these aspects in astrology, and we can improve our lives in so many ways, right? So when we see like that Jupiter K2 aspect, go donate stuff, go pay homage to gurus, guides, teachers, reach out to a past teacher and tell them how much you loved their teachings, do these things that work with the energy and you're going to be in flow. You're going to have positive things happen, right? Also with this Jupiter retrograde, something I absolutely recommend is meditation, journaling, anything that's inward and reflective and internal with that Jupiter retrograde. Because a retrograde planet is internal and introspective and introverted. So one of my favorite Vedic astrologers, Simon Shikowski, always said that when you see a lot of retrograde planets, those people are more internal and introverted by nature. Okay, so when we see things go retrograde in the sky, we are going to find in transit that energy becomes more private and internal. So Jupiter going retrograde is going to show us this like reflective sort of internal spiritual insight and wisdom as well too. So we're feeling very private within our spiritual energy in some way. A great time to do things like retreats and meditation retreats and, joining a church, whatever your spiritual beliefs are, connecting to something in that realm is going to be really positive with that Jupiter retrograde energy. Okay, a lot of themes of like counseling and guiding and healing and teaching are going to come about at this time. So people might feel called to more spiritual career paths. People can feel called to more guidance, energy in their careers. Maybe they want to guide or help people. It's also a great time to do anything creatively that is more spiritual, more spiritually inspiring as well too. Again, you always want to check to see where this is transiting your personal chart from Lagna and then Chandra Lagna. But you are going to find that people want to bring a spiritual element into their career and into their energy at this time as well too. So because this gets disposited by that Venus energy, huge themes of financial changes in everyone's lives on a personal level, but also a collective level. So probably a lot of changes within the economy as well too with that Jupiter retrograde disposited by Venus. And we can be finding that people are really reflecting and pondering on how to save money at this time. That's going to be a huge theme that we are seeing collectively as well too. All right, Jupiter retrograde is also a great time for spiritual pilgrimages, spiritual travels, connecting with the Father, healing things with the Father as well too, especially if this is going through like your 9th house axis in the chart. It's also a great time for really finding like a guru or a guide or someone who can kind of help you at this time period as well too. Maybe really admiring a teacher or teachings of sorts as well with that Jupiter retrograde energy. All right, so you really want to look to your chart to see where Taurus is, where Virgo is, because it's casting that aspect or that ray of light as well too to the Virgo part of the chart. Then you also want to see and kind of track where Venus is moving throughout this transit. So it starts in Libra and then it's going to move to Scorpio not so long after. You want to see where those houses also light up your personal chart as well too, from Lagna and then Chandra Lagna. All right, a huge theme of Jupiter, Venus, Mercury as well too, K2, the sun is all kind of, coming into this energy. So a lot of energy around teachings and guides and gurus and travel and education is really huge at this time. Jupiter retrograde is a great time to really reflect and review your own beliefs and your own ideologies as well too, and sort of think about, are the things that you believe helping you, and are they helping you grow, or are they keeping you stuck in some way? Right? Because the way that we sort of view the world and the things that we believe can either help us or it can harm us, right? And when that Jupiter goes retrograde, we're thinking a lot about our beliefs and our belief systems, and there can be a sort of changing or shifting in that energy. Maybe revisiting old beliefs and realizing we don't resonate with those as well at this time period. All right, so I hope this brought you guys some clarity on this transit of Jupiter retrograde October 9th. It's going to be a really introspective, spiritually motivated transit. We're going to see a lot of stuff go on collectively with the political climate and sort of past connections to justice and the legal system as well. So if you are living your life in a, moralistic, righteous way, this can be a really great transit because it can bring past due karma in a positive way into the house of your charts. All right, so remember, once again, I want to emphasize Jyotisha or Vedic astrology is helping us work with energy and not against it, right? So when we know that a transit is coming up, we know how to work with the energy. I hope this brought you guys clarity and understanding into this chart and into the Jupiter retrograde energy. And I hope you guys have such a beautiful, blessed day. And thank you so much for being here with me. Comment down below what you think of this upcoming transit and any future video ideas as well too. And subscribe for more Vedic astrology or Jyotisha videos as well too. All right, bye guys.